This is John Mainwaring of Rigzone at the Offshore Technology Conference in Houston with David Rennie, who is Head of Oil and Gas for Scottish Development International. David, today there's some figures that came out about the Scottish supply chain, oil and gas supply chain, and how the revenues of that supply chain have shot up 22% to £10 billion or $17 billion. What's driven this?
Really the market, John. I mean, you know, the figures we do an annual survey, and as you rightly say, big increase for the latest year. We've got figures for, and that's really driven by opportunity, it's driven by the market. So Scotland is a global hub for oil and gas. We're seeing huge growth, continued growth in America, which is our #1 market for our supply chain sales, but also growth in Africa, Australia, and other. So these are just projects, opportunity, Scottish know-how, technology. You know, we've been doing this for 40 years. And I think that really gives us a competitive advantage. So, you know, it's one of our, if not our most important industrial sectors for Scotland, and that we see no reason why that won't continue to change.
Okay, and picking up on Africa, you've almost doubled your revenues to Africa in terms of oil and gas supply chain. Why is Africa so significant now? What's happening there? Why is Scotland so connected to Africa and doing so well then?
I think there's two main reasons for that. First of that is subsea, and because of the time zone, we're in a very similar time zone to Africa. So a lot of subsea projects that have been developed in Africa are now actually being project managed or work being done from Scotland. So we see actually a real advantage for Scotland in that Africa time zone, so we can do a lot of work there. And the second, I think, is just that Africa, although it's obviously been a market for many years, there's huge new finds, there's a lot of new projects, a lot of new fields happening. You know, we've just opened an office in Ghana, for example, or just about to open an office in Ghana. So we really see that as a key driver. So again, it's the market opportunity, the Scottish know-how, particularly around subsea, I think, that will be continued growth. So Africa, Angola, the survey showed, was our second most important country market after the USA, 1.2 billion sterling. So, you know, there's a lot of growth opportunities still, not just in Angola, but in Tanzania and Mozambique, a lot of new finds there. So we see Africa as a real key hub for our export growth.
And in terms of other regions, you've got the USA as your biggest region. Africa's now, I think, is it your second or third?
Second or third, certainly, yeah. It's certainly up there anyway, one of the most important ones now.
What are the other developing regions that Scotland's getting into?
We're seeing a lot of growth in Australia. And I think Australia is now, I think, our fourth biggest market, I think, from memory. It's one of our most important ones. We've seen a lot of growth in Australia in the last few years. Canada, we've again opened some new offices in Canada recently to reflect this. So the unconventional gas, the shale gas, but also the offshore in the St John's and Newfoundland area. A lot of new activity happening there. A lot of companies, Scottish companies, winning business in Canada. So we see Canada as a growth market. Brazil, obviously, Brazil has its challenges. They're well known, but as a market, as opportunity, it's significant. And a lot of investment from Petrobras and others. So those are emerging opportunities. As part of the survey, we ask companies that we survey, who do you think your main prospects will be for the next 5 years? And those areas, plus Africa. Africa is really seen as it's not one particular African country, it's a number of African countries that are seen as being significant.
Okay, thank you very much, David Rennie.
Thank you.